it's Stacey and this is my first video for 2023, so Happy New Year. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about my mystery block of the month for 2023. Now most of you joined me last year for it and thank you so much, but maybe you're brand new to mystery block of the month, so we'll just go over exactly what we'll be doing and I'll just go over a few of my frequently asked questions. So what is a mystery block of the month? What it is it's a quilt block that we do every month, and the mystery comes in because you don't know what quilt block we'll be making until I've released it. And in my case, I'll be releasing them on the last Friday of every month. So over 10 months, we'll be making 12 blocks, and in the month of March and September, we'll be making 2 blocks, and that's so that we finish well in time for Christmas. And then with our 12 blocks, we'll be making a quilt top, and then you'll have plenty of time to finish it off if you'd like to be gifting yours as a Christmas present. And you can see I've got mine here from last year. It just turned out super cute. And you can actually check out all the details on how to make this quilt if you'd like. I'll put a link in the description below. But this was our mystery block for last year. So what we did is I released 1 block a month. We did a few extra during the year to finish in time for Christmas, which was the preference of my members. Then I showed you how to add the sashing with the cornerstones and then the borders, and then you finished off your quilts. So all the blocks for my mystery block of the month 2023 are brand new. I won't be doing any blocks that I've done for the mystery block of the month last year or any other blocks that I've taught you in the past. All these blocks will be brand new, or at least a new twist on some of the blocks we've already done, but I can't give away too much. Now the blocks measure 12.5 inches squared, and then once they're in the quilt, they'll be measuring 12 inches, just like last year. Let me just check. So the finished size is going to be 51 inches by 65 inches. Now the best thing to do if you want to do my mystery block of the month is please sign up for my emails. That's how you'll get the fabric requirements, and I've got them listed out in quite a lot of detail, including the fabrics that I've used, and I'll show you those in a minute. Now the reason why I like you to sign up to my email is so you can get the fabric requirements, but that way you'll get the email every Friday, and I'll be doing tutorials in between the blocks every week, so the emails are not spam. They're usually a really nice little tutorial, but it's where you'll get all the information for the mystery block of the month. If I've got any updates or anything you need to know, you will find it in that email. And that just means you'll be staying in the loop with what's going on with the mystery block of the month, and you'll know exactly what's going on. So please do that. I'll put a link down below in my description, which takes you over to all the details, including everything you need to know, as well as how to sign up for my newsletter if you don't already get it. Now, the newsletter being the email. If you already get my email, you don't need to do a thing. You are already signed up. Now, something that people are struggling with is finding how to get the password to get to my fabric requirements. Now, the password does change periodically, not very often, maybe every few months. So you'll always find the most up-to-date password in the email, and I'm going to put the image up now. Look for this image, scroll through the email and look for this image, and when you find the image, you'll find the password underneath. And in the last email you got will always be the most up-to-date password. Now, the patterns password is useful because it's also how you'll get access to all my other free patterns and information that I do offer for free. So it's really useful to know how to get to my patterns library. So now getting back to the monthly quilt block, what will happen is you'll get your email, and in that email will be a link to the cutting instructions, and I'm going to tell you exactly what fabrics to use and how much to cut. And this time around, I did get a few comments of people saying that they'd wished I'd given them more instruction on what fabrics to use exactly, and they did want to just use the same fabrics. Remember last year it was kind of just use what you've got and we'll see how it turns out. A few of you did comment that you'd much prefer I give you specific instructions on exactly which fabrics to use, and that's what I'll be doing this year. So this year I will be saying for which fabric I'll be giving it, say, a letter. Let's say A, I'll be saying use A here, use B here, and I'll be giving you very specific instructions. And I think you'll find that really useful. And of course, you can always do it whatever you want. It's just my recommendations. I'm always happy for people to experiment and just be creative. But for those of you that like to have really clear directions, I'll be doing that this year. So what will happen is you'll get your email, you'll get the link to the cutting instructions, anything else I think you need to know. And there'll be a little diagram there. It'll be very clear. You'll get a link to my video which has step-by-step instructions. And I think with that, that's enough to do my block of the month. I also offer PDF patterns, which some of you find really helpful to print out and refer back to time and time again. I sell those at $3 each, so with 12 blocks this year, that will come to $36, which brings me to my Perks membership. If you think you'd like to purchase my patterns this year, I know a lot of you purchased them all last year, the Perks membership is a discounted price of all 12 patterns for this year, plus you'll get a few extras. So my mystery block of the month is still completely free. The Perks membership is just extras, like the name suggests. So what you'll get is a copy of my PDF pattern each month. You'll get the PDF pattern and the link to my video 12 o'clock the day before the release. So on Thursday, you'll get 24 hours access. Then it will get ready to go live for everybody else. So it's just meant to be what would be considered as perks of a membership. So you're just getting a little bit extra. Plus we'll be doing a live chat. I'll be setting that up probably on a Saturday, and I'll suggest a few times and you'll get to vote what time would suit you best. We still need to iron out some of those details. But please check out my Perks membership. I'll put a link in the description below. It's over on my Etsy shop. Like I said, I don't want to turn anyone off. This is all still completely free if you'd like to do it for free. It's just if you do like to get my patterns, it's a really good way to get them slightly cheaper and sign up for the year. And we do get to have that little chat and you can ask me questions and show me your progress. I think it will be really nice. So I just wanted to quickly show you the fabrics that I'm using. I got a lot of questions last year, and you can find the exact quantities that I've purchased of which fabric in the fabric requirements. I go into great detail and tell you everything you need to know. But for my main fabrics, I've used Petunia by Kimberly Kite of Ruby Star Society. And then for my background and sashing, I'm using Pure Solids by Art Gallery Fabrics, and the color is called Creme de la Creme. It's actually one of my most favorite fabrics. I've got a whole wad here because I buy it at about 6 yards at a time because I use so much of it. Now, I'm using this fabric here for my borders and this fabric here for my cornerstones. These two fabrics will be in all my blocks, and then some of these will be in the different ones. And now in my instructions, a few people were confused because I said you could either use a half a yard or 2/4. So for these two fabrics, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 1/4 of a yard each of these fabrics. But if I wanted to, I could put one aside and I could just use one, but then I would need half a yard of this fabric. So I hope that clarifies that. Now, when it comes to the fat quarters, a few people were confused about that. So 1 fat quarter is the same amount of fabric as 1/4 yard, which means 2 fat quarters is the same amount of fabric as half a yard. So just bringing these back, you could use fat quarters and you could have 1 fat quarter of each, or you could put it aside and just use 1, but you'd need 2 fat quarters, which would be the equivalent of half a yard. So I hope I've helped clarify that. So for the Creme de la Creme, this is my background fabric, and that will be going in the blocks just like we did last year. I'm going to pull this quilt over. You can see I used this cream here, which was my background fabric. Well, that's what I'd like you to do this year. And we're also going to do the sashing in the same color. And trust me, what's going to happen is our blocks are going to pop and it's going to look fantastic. Now, of course, that's optional, but that's what I plan to do. And I think you're going to be really happy with the results. So one last thing I wanted to cover is if you've signed up for the newsletter, but you can't find the email, please check your spam, junk and promotions folder, and if it is in there, add me to your safe senders list. Or you could do a search in your email for Mystery Block of the Month 2023, and that will bring up the main email with all the information you need. So thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to get started. We're going to have a whole heap of fun. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the 27th of January when we do our very first block for this year's Mystery Block of the Month.